As I've discovered in my lifetime, and I do apologize for referring to notes, that's what 40-odd years of drinking martinis does to you. As I've discovered recently and over the past few years, food is one of the great universals. And in the past few years, I've traveled to nearly 71 countries and 48 states, just Delaware and Alaska to go, to eat and to experience food. And one of the things I've found is that in a world that is incredibly divided and incredibly polarized, particularly as we know at the moment with politics and religion, food is one of those things that is capable of bringing us together. And breaking bread is one of those things that can heal incredible wounds. And as I'm going to tell you tonight, and as one of our other speakers, Madison, will tell you, food, quite apart from its nutritional value, is capable of saving lives. In 2007, I had a full-on, what I call in very brusque English, stark bollock naked, stand on a table, scream and say, I'm an orange, and I'm not going to take this anymore, kind of nervous breakdown. And it almost killed me. And I decided while cooking a meal that I was going to go out and create this new mantra for my life: go everywhere, eat everything. And it's actually something I've done ever since. It was a journey that took me to 31 countries in a year, and it was a journey that saved my life. And along the way, I ate some extraordinary meals, and I recall meals humble that were served to me on a train where I had only a bottle of Diet Coke and half a jar of Pringles to survive on, and the people in my carriage insisted I shared their amazing food as I went from Marrakesh to Fez. I remember a meal served to me by an elderly couple in Finland who had hunted and everything for the meal and had plucked food from the ground. It's probably one of the best meals of my life. And I had lavish meals where some of the best chefs on the planet invited me into their kitchens to find out what they were all about. But one of the things that I found that this whole journey was about, and I think we'll find out today with food, with these amazing speakers we have for you, is that it's about the people. And I'm still in touch with hundreds, possibly more, of people around the globe as I continue my travels. And what it did was restore in me a real belief in the goodness of humanity and the part that food plays in that goodness. It's a journey that's actually going to be continuing. And one of the reasons you might look at that rather severe picture of me up there is I'm actually starting on a new journey. This is my third book called Fed, White and Blue. And it's actually my journey to discover what it means to become one of you lot, an American citizen. And the reason, thank you. And it's an extraordinary thing. Madison and I, who are both from other climes, were saying today, only in this country would people like us be able to get to do something like this. So you guys should be very proud of yourself. And food is also what's allowed me to do this. This is actually from a special I just filmed from the Cooking Channel, November the 4th on the Cooking Channel. TiVo it, please. They might turn it into a series called Back in Time for Thanksgiving, where me and these rather two unruly pilgrims decided to sort of dispel all the myths that you have about Thanksgiving, like people serving turkey. And it was great fun. But the people there heard about my new trip and have invited me back to go and spend a week hanging out with them and the Wampanoag community and time in the kitchens there, learning to cook what they actually cooked at the time. So if you're going to find out what it means to become an American, you might as well start at the beginning. So I just thought I'd put that picture up there because I thought it was quite fun. And I think one of the things we're going to talk about today, for something so simple and wonderful as food, and for the fact that it's one of man's most basic needs to survive, it's also incredibly complex. And particularly now when we have so much technology and so much involved. And it's often puts people into a situation where they get bewildered and angry by so many marketing words and so many buzzwords, organic, local and seasonal, which are the two that I have to say I hate the most because people don't seem to know what the heck they mean. And it seems to be so much now that it's down to the R&D and marketing departments of huge companies to kind of use our desire to eat in a more healthy way as a plaything. And what I hope today will happen is these amazing speakers are going to tell you about food and why it takes them back to their roots, the experiences they've had, and the magical things that food can do. And I hope that it will leave you going away thinking, at least, about what you eat and eating in a more thoughtful way. One of the things I ask people to do whenever we have an experience like this is to really try and remember the moment and think about something and enjoy it. And given that it's food, I don't tell people to stop and smell the flowers. what I ask them to do is to stop and smell the roast chicken. So I would like at least some of you to go home tonight or in the next week or so, just put a great roast chicken, imagine rubbing it with oil and herbs and salt and pepper, put it into that oven, 400 degrees I think, probably be about right, get that nice crisp skin, sit down, open a bottle of wine, and let that smell surround you. And if after all of that, you don't believe that food is the most magical thing on earth, I'll pay for your chicken.